Hey folks, Jackdaw here, and by Selune herself I stand humbled and privileged to share my initial impressions of the full game of Baldur's Gate 3 with all of you today. A massive, heartfelt thank you to Larian Studios and Sandbox Strategies for granting me this very early press review code. This extraordinary opportunity marks a momentous milestone in my journey, and for that I am incredibly grateful. Together as we mark history, let's embark on an epic adventure as I delve into the thrilling contrasts between Baldur's Gate 3's early access build and the full release. Over the course of my 20-something hour journey, because I unfortunately also have a full-time job and I only got this review code on Sunday at 8 PM, I promise to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, revealing the wonders that Baldur's Gate 3 has to offer. So join me as I candidly share my experience of BG3, and together we'll determine if this journey is one worth taking. Kicking this off, upon delving back into the realm of Faerun, as the character customization splashed onto screen, I decided to immerse myself fully into this experience by creating a character that closely resembled me, a true self-insert if you will. Thus, Jackdaw Dawson, my human tempest cleric, came to life. With a strong alignment to my own religious and supportive nature embodied with a natural flair for charisma, Jackdaw was ready to embark on this somewhat blind journey, as I have played early access. Leaving behind a life of nobility in the city, he now faced the haunting reality of a mind flayer abduction. The Tempest Cleric class provided to be a natural fit for me, providing a fresh and deadly array of cantrips, supportive spells, and thunderous attacks of opportunity. The thrill of wielding lightning and thunder against my foes in the heat of battle brought immense joy. Reacting swiftly to their attacks, I struck back with electrifying force, turning each encounter into a thrilling dance of lightning and steel. The added delight of summoning magical flying weapons that absorbed attacks and dealt devastating blows further enhanced this experience, especially when these weapons would follow me around after combat. For those undecided, I highly recommend playing as a cleric, a versatile jack-of-all-trades starting class that promises an exhilarating adventure, especially for a first playthrough. Jackdaw's noble background and mastery as a cleric, proficient in animal handling, not only elevated his own charisma and wisdom stats, but also honed his ability to handle both people and animals with ease, no matter the situation. Yet, like every character, he had his own weaknesses, and ironically, for a cleric, it happened to be intelligence, an Achilles heel that added a fascinating twist to his persona, very much again akin to me in real life. It was as if his greatest strength was also his greatest vulnerability, as he always passed wisdom checks but never intelligence, providing an ironic yet captivating balance that introduced an element of failure amidst my many successes. As a cleric, I had the opportunity to select my own religion, and I opted to follow the deity Lathander, god of birth, renewal, and spring. And this was my own choice, and it brought forth a delightful array of class dialogue options that perfectly aligned with Jackdaw's values, allowing him to sympathize and offer condolences and prayers in various timely situations. It was a lovely touch that truly suited my character, and with over 20 deities in this game, each with many different core values, the diverse dialogue options showcase the richness and the depth of Baldur's Gate 3, offering a plethora of possibilities to shape the course of your character dictated by their class. And this was just one example for the cleric class, proving just how vast these dialogue options can be. As I progressed further in the game, I think at level 4, feats became available, and I made the thrilling choice of dual wielding. The added versatility it brought to Jackdaw's already quite dynamic weapon proficiency was exhilarating, and let's face it, who doesn't want to dash around the land with two swords in hand, looking absolutely dashing while slicing up foes. Choosing the dual wielding feat added an offhand attack as a bonus action, so I could charge at a foe, cast a spell, and then smack them with my second quarterstaff. It was truly brilliant, and that is just one example of what feats can do. Upon deeper inspection of specific feats in the long feats list, I discovered a whole realm of possibilities for customization and refinement. From obtaining class-specific spells, like those of a bard, a warlock, or a wizard, to gaining proficiency, saving throws, and advantages, and even unlocking brand new skills, the potential for growth in this game at really any given point is just as impressive as it was at the very beginning. If you have a very specific playthrough in mind, you can can absolutely achieve that in BG3. Even just as a basic human cleric, I've spent ages right there just delving into the vast aspects of my character, as simple as Jackdaw initially seemed. With over 40 different subclasses, 20 diverse sub-races, the 600 plus list of spells and abilities, the vast feats, and the option for multi-classing, the possibilities for refining and shaping your character are truly boundless. And I can sit here and talk to you about the levels of customization and how astonishing they are, allowing you to meticulously fine-tune every aspect of your character to make them distinctly your own, but words cannot fully capture the incredible level of detail and personalization that BG3 offers. It's just an experience that you're going to have to immerse yourself in to appreciate the true depths of character customization in this game. Now, as I embarked on the full game of BG3 after initially experiencing only Act 1 during the early access period, I was utterly amazed by the astounding difference that greeted me. The early access version of Act 1 felt more like a glimpse of the vast world and storytelling that awaited me. But now, Larian had truly outdone themselves with an abundance of new content. I was thoroughly surprised by the almost immediate and drastic changes that Act 1 underwent. One delightful addition was the option to personalize my character's camp outfit separately from his armor slots, with each companion also having their own camp outfits too. Swapping between these outfits allowed me to explore Veyrune's vast fashion scene, discovering new clothes, items, and dyes to create unique and stylish outfits, adding a much needed delightful touch as Jackdaw was able to take off his bulky armor and express himself in more cozier clothes at camp while flirting away with Shadowheart. And touching on that, what truly captivated me throughout my journey in Baldur's Gate 3 were of course the intricate and evolving relationships between the companions. Each member of the party had their own distinct personalities and histories which shaped their interactions with one another. Some, like Gale and Shadowheart, seemed to work harmoniously, complementing each other's strengths and weaknesses. On the other hand, they were sworn rivals among the group, adding dynamic, tense atmospheres at times that sometimes needed to be resolved. Lizelle and Shadowheart. In the same essence, the introduction of Karlach was an instant delight, as she not only brought a new layer of plot to the team, but also added an arsenal of damage as a formidable barbarian. Her presence became essential to my group's dynamic, and it actually feels quite impossible now to envision the gang without Karlach's fiery spirit and combat prowess. As I delved deeper into each of the companion stories, I discovered a particularly intriguing tension between Karlach and Will. The varying consequences of their initial conflict were extreme, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. You see, since early access, Will's character underwent a compelling transformation with the introduction of a Cambion thrusted into his story, adding a variety of complexity to his motivations and destiny. I kinda worry for the fate of Will spurred on by my own actions, but I'm just gonna have to play more to see how that's gonna end for him. Sorry about that, Will. On another note, I noticed a significant change with a particular dream visitor compared to the early access version. This alteration was, in my opinion, a definite improvement. This shift has since left me constantly questioning who I can trust in the game, and I think I'm just going to be questioning that until the very conclusion of BG3, because it lingers even now. However, I must say a standout moment of playing through 20-something hours of Baldur's Gate 3 has to be the deep and immersive relationship that I have built with Shadowheart, and I must admit it was more than simple camaraderie. As Jackdaw spent more time with her, he couldn't help but feeling himself falling in love with her. With each heartfelt conversation, she slowly unveiled more layers of her past, and it was a staggering experience for both of them. It's an endearing romance truly, and I just hope that they can both stick to the landing and end up married or something. I don't know what's going to happen, I'm just hoping for a happy ending for the two of them. But the romance system as a whole is brilliant and very simple to grasp. There are so many opportunities to engage in romantic relationships throughout your time, they're basically thrusted on you. Just flirt away and be yourself. That is the only advice you need to attract somebody who likes you for you. And speaking on Shadowheart a bit more, I couldn't help but notice that Shadowheart's trickery-focused cleric skill set seemed a bit redundant for my playstyle, given that I already am a cleric myself. So seeking a way to make her more effective in combat, I decided to visit Withers and reset her as a war cleric. And this difference was remarkable. Her new approach brought a surge of energy to our battles, inflicting more damage on our foes and blessing our weapon attacks, as well as buffing my strength and intelligence rolls in dialogue cutscenes. It was the shake-up we absolutely needed, and I recommend this to anybody anybody. If you feel like your own hero is lacking, or if you're unhappy with your current playstyle, or one of your companions is slacking, try a respec, it's there to help you out. And for the fee of 100 gold, you can do it as many times as you want. Continuing my journey through Baldur's Gate 3 since the point where the early access content ended, if you know that exact point, you know what I mean, I chose to then explore the mountain path and found myself in the Githyanki Creche, a clear transition from Act 1 to Act 2. Without saying too much because I am stepping into Act 2 content here, but I still want to offer a few opinions on that, the Creche offered an enthralling dark questline centered around Lizelle and her desperate attempts to find a cure for the overarching narrative of BG3. As I ventured further into Act 2, additionally a brand new questline for Gale emerged, revealing a whole different perspective on his character and paving the way for potential narrative developments. The contrasting tones of both of these experiences instantly conveyed the seriousness of Act 2's story and the profound consequences of our actions and those of our companions. While Act 1 has you emerging on a sense of progression, with friendships forged and quests embarked upon, Act 2 drops us right into the darker depths of the narrative, captivating with its profound shift. I'll say no more on that front for now, I'm just immediately hooked by Act 2. Moreover, Act 2 brought about a considerable difficulty spike, thoughtfully balanced with improved gear and high rewarding combat, just as you'd expect. With higher levels attained, our party's prowess grew, granting access to devastating abilities that allowed us to specialise even further in our respective classes. For me as a Tempest Cleric, when I hit level 5, I unlocked level 3 spells, infusing my encounters with even more thunderous devastation, while Gale's newfound ability to cast the flight spell added a thrilling dimension of fun to our adventure. And lastly, in regards to Act 2, one of the struggles that I did face during the early access was understanding the core elements of one of the game's central threats. Cut content in the early access version had contributed to this confusion, but in the full game, this was immediately alleviated. Like, immediately. Act 2 delved much more deeper into this particular threat, providing specific reasons behind their goals and adding much needed clarity to the overarching narrative. Now, I've left that ominous for a reason because I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've played early access and you felt a little bit confused with one of the major threats, rest assured you're going to easily and fully comprehend that threat now, with much needed clarification. From the thunderous battles as a Tempest Cleric to heartfelt moments with companions like Shadowheart, my journey so far through Baldur's Gate 3 has been nothing short of extraordinary, surpassing every expectation I had. The vast world, intricately woven character relationships, and ever-evolving storylines ensnared me from the outset and refused to release their grip. With every step forward, the world of BG3 unveils new surprises and twists, keeping me teetering on the precipice of excitement. The weight of my choices was palpable, their consequences ripping through the intricate tapestry of the game. From its early access stage, Baldur's Gate 3 already showcased its worth, but the full game has now ascended to the realms of RPG greatness, even in its earlier acts. Navigating its immense realms feels like embarking on an epic role-playing opus, a journey that matches the essence of Dungeons & Dragons itself. Ultimately, BG3 sets a new standard for what it means to fully immerse ourselves in a grand RPG adventure, and I am so excited to delve even further in this game. If that sounds good to you, then your choice is clear. Download Baldur's Gate 3 right now and embark on this brilliant journey. I'm going to offer more thoughts soon of a full review, but for now, these are my early impressions of BG3. Let me know if you're picking this game up down below, and I'd love to hear all of your thoughts in this epic RPG if you've already sunk your teeth in. But until next one, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.